A couple of weeks ago, I went up to my favorite bluegill fishing lake and caught several bluegill and had a ball catching them. And I did something I hadn't done for 40 years. I used grasshoppers for bait. Normally I religiously use artificial lures. Sometimes I'll tip them with a crappie nibbler or something when the fishing's tough. But I had a lot of fun doing that. But I took some night crawlers with me because I anticipated that they might be kind of difficult to catch. And toward the end I tried those out and found out they would hit them too. And now I've had a difficult time figuring out how to get back there and try them out, but I finally made it. Finally scheduled some time in to do that. And this time I brought along my little trolley to pull my kayak with. On the previous trip I had to drag the thing on the ground for almost a quarter of a mile. So anyway, bad weather, difficult time catching fish, but enjoy watching this video. Well, I'm making another trip down to Connor Fuel. Got a pond over here I'm going to fish. Making a picture of my little rig. I've got a portage in down that path for about a quarter of a mile, and in the edge of a cornfield here where we park our car at the parking lot right back there, and we're going to see if we can catch a few bluegill. This is some more of the walkway down to the lake through the woods. And I always go down here, and one of the joys of coming down here is, if you'll notice, there's some wonderful looking persimmons here on the ground. And I always stop and eat a few of those. Makes you feel more like you're out in nature. It's 55 degrees today, and it's misting a little bit, and I forgot my raincoat, so some of these persimmons will help warm me up. Here's what it looks like when you're eating persimmons out in the woods. Boy, they're good. That's actually the dam to the lake right there, the little lake there. And here's the little walkway that I came down. Yeah, my persimmon tree's right up there at just as you come in here. Here's our little lake. That's where we're going to slide the kayak in, and as you can see, it's murked up quite a bit from the rains that we've had. I expect the fishing maybe to be just a little bit on the tough side. I prefer it when the water's really clear. And there's where we came from. Alright, I'm all rigged out and ready to go. There's my little set of wheels I used to pull the kayak in with, and I've got my cooler in the back, and I've got two rods rigged, one with a slow sinking jig on it, and the other one up front with that cork on it. That's what I'll use. You can see my little tackle box there, and my utility box, and my seat that's already got some nice dirt on it from the last time I was fishing. And we're going to launch this boat right down through that slot and go right out there in the middle and see if we can catch us a bluegill. Right, we're moving out to the lake now, out into the middle, and the water is kind of murky like I thought it was, but we have a beautiful little lake here, and I'm trying to paddle with one hand and take a picture with the other, and we're about ready to try it. The fishing's even tougher than I thought it would be. If you can see way out there, I've got a slip cork working out there by itself, and then I'm going to cast with this other rod here, and I'm going to fish with two rods at once. Maybe I can get one to bite. We've had a lot of rain. It's only 55 degrees and it's been misting rain all morning. The wind's out of the northeast. It's going to be tough, but we're going to work at it. Well, I've been fishing almost an hour without a strike, fishing 10 to 20, 25 feet deep because it's 55 degrees, it's cold, and they're supposed to be deep. I came over by the bank, and the second cast, fishing about 2 foot deep right next to the bank, this bluegill hit it. It's not a monster, but it's big for most places. Well, I'm finding something that's working a little bit. I lost a huge one a while ago, and by the way, this is a huge one I didn't lose. Isn't that a dandy? That one's going to be 9.5 inches probably. But I'm paralleling that bank right there, and I'm throwing straight ahead of me, 10, 12 foot off the milfoil. Why they're there, I don't know, but at least I've got 2 this way. I got my third one here, same tactic. This one's about 8.5, I'd say. Nice bluegill. So I'm going to stick with this till it quits working. Well, this is not what I come after, but he was probably 11 inches long. Fun to catch, but I'd rather have been a big bluegill. Well, here's another bruiser. I'm throwing that in about 8 foot of water, dragging that jig through the milfoil. I can feel it bounce off the milfoil. And so far I've been either catching milfoil or a bluegill. I think this is my 4th one. I'm keeping track, but boy, he's a good one. Man, what a bluegill. Oh my God. He's going to be 9.5. He is huge. Turn around here, buddy. Good Lord. I tell you what, there's not biting very fast, but I don't care. I can't believe I'm catching them the way I'm catching them. This is what you get when you don't catch a fish. You got to drag them out of that milfoil. Well, here's proof that there's some normal sized bluegill in here. This little guy we'd be proud of most places. I moved down here in these trees, and some trees are all down in through here. Right around that tree right there, I caught me a nice bass. He's probably 2.5 anyway, maybe more. I want you to look at this. Next cast after I caught the bass, I caught this bull. It's the first male I've had. He's at least 9 inches and really fat. Well, the wind's come up, and I didn't bring any anchor. I'm sitting here with my foot hanging over that log to keep my boat in position, and I'm throwing out in these trees right here. And so far I've caught 1 big bull bluegill and 1 nice bass, and had another bluegill on, and then another something else on that I don't know what was. They're right out in this little flat here. But I didn't bring my anchor, and my boat control is horrible. That's where I caught the bass, and I caught the bull bluegill right out across the middle. But I'm going to try a little bit longer, and then I'm going to go back up where I first started catching them, because I've caught more there than anywhere else. But what a place to catch bluegill in normal times, when it's not cold and my arms and fingers aren't stinging. Beautiful water. Well, I fished another 30 or 45 minutes with no luck at all, and the weather kept getting worse and worse. So I headed back up the trail on my way home.